The official post-event press conference for Bkfc 65 here in Salt Lake. Great attendance, great show here, a lot of great finishes, an incredible co-main event, and we still have our flyweight champion, Christine Ferea, as she retains her title. A lot to talk about here, so we will bring up some of the winners, some of the fighters as they step up here. But first, let's go to the founder and the president, Mr. David Feldman.
Thanks, Cyrus. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was a good night here in Salt Lake. Started out with a bang, had some good knockouts. That goes to the knockout bonus, goes to Zach Cavender. Scored a beautiful knockout. Got rocked, knocked the guy dead, so we're going to give him the knockout of the night. We're not going to do a fighter tonight because there was one that could have been a fighter tonight, and I'm just going to I like giving these unique of the night bonuses, so I'm going to give balls of the night bonus to Bobby Taylor. I thought he showed unbelievable balls. Got dropped, could have quit at any time and didn't, and kept getting back up and fighting his ass off. Give performance of the night to Jeremy Stevens. I thought he fought really good, looked unbelievable. And let's go to the main event. I thought it was fucking awful, honestly, awful. One of the worst main events we've ever had in history, one of the worst women's fights we've ever had. It was just, if you're fighting for the championship, I mean, I think anyone will agree with me. If you're fighting for a championship, you got to go in there. You got to be willing to go out on your shield. And it didn't look like either woman really wanted to get hit tonight. And I was disappointed. And the comments online are telling me that they were very disappointed too. So I'm sorry to say that, but it is what it is. It was a very lackluster main event, and I was very disappointed, as were the fans, as you heard by the boos, as were the comments. So, unfortunate. It was like I said, good night all in all. Love it here in Salt Lake City. We're coming back 4 times next year. We're coming back for a big event we're going to do here on October 5th, and then we're just going to keep rolling it out for next year here in Salt Lake City. But that's all I have to say right now. You got any questions?
All right, let's look for some questions. If you have a question for the founder, the president, David Feldman, put your hand up and we'll walk right over to you. All right, here we go. First one of the night.
So Mike Perry was in attendance. This was the first time that the public has seen you interact with him since Jake Paul. What kind of conversations did you guys have?
Good conversation. I mean, look, he said, I don't know what happened. I said, you're a bare knuckle fighter. You're not a boxer. And you should have stuck to your sport. And he's going to stick to his sport. We have a mega fight that we're going to announce next week. It's going to close out the year with probably our biggest fight card we've ever had in history. And he's going to be a part of that.
All right. Any more questions for David Feldman? One more.
You've hinted towards going to Pennsylvania, like a homecoming event. Is there anything in regards to this biggest fight in BKFC history in regards to that state?
Talk to you later.
Oh, there he goes. That says it all. Ladies and gentlemen, David Feldman, president and founder of BKFC. We're going to be bringing some more fighters up. Next up, I'd like to bring up Mike Jones. Great performance tonight. Let's bring up Mike Jones. Give it up for him. Hometown guy, worldwide television. What a performance by Mike Jones. Who? Who? That's right. Same deal. Put your hands up. I'll come over to you with the mic. All right, there he is, Mike Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
First off, congratulations on your fight. I saw Jeremy Horn in your corner, kind of being very direct with his instructions to you. How important is he in your camp for this fight?
He's so important to me. Like, just the dude's been around forever. Like, the stuff he can do mentally, like, it's priceless. You can't get that.
Any more for Mike Jones?
You seem to be connecting with your left hand at the end of every single, not every single exchange, but when it landed, it was always the last punch thrown. Was that something you had prepared for going into this fight?
Yeah, I knew that he was going to throw hard right hands and try to clinch. So my game plan was to keep the distance, hit him with the jab, bust him up, and hit him with the check hook. Yeah, it was very left-hand heavy strategy, yeah.
So, huge name here in Salt Lake City. You're becoming a bigger and bigger name worldwide through Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. What's your next goal? What are you looking to do next in BKFC?
Man, I just want to fight. I want to fight, make some money, keep moving up in the rankings. So, yeah, give me another fight.
There he's a fighter. Any more from Mike Jones before we let him get out of here? We got one more for Mike.
So you're kind of bouncing between MMA and bare knuckle, and it seems like if you look at your last fight as compared to now, Bkfc, it seems to be like your confidence is a lot higher than it was in your first bout. Are you going to do you see yourself kind of in between both sports, or are you going to try to dedicate yourself to one?
Man, I fight for whoever's going to pay me the most money, whether that be MMA or Bkfc. I did learn a lot from my first bare knuckle fight. I think that showed here tonight. So, yeah, I just want to fight, want to make some money, and, yeah, make a run for it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Jones. Great win, great fight tonight. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate you, man. Good to see you again. All right, next up, I want to call up here another amazing fighter here, Dominico Salis. Come on up, Dominico Salis. This guy, full of personality, full of excitement. Dominico Salis. He's got a bonus from the big man himself, David Feldman, from what David was saying earlier. We'll find out more about that later, but let's go to the question for Dominico Salis.
So, Dominico, you started real quick off the rip, like once the bell rang and you got caught. But were you stunned, or were you kind of playing it off?
No, he hits hard. I mean, he's a game opponent. He definitely hit me. I knew that's what it was. My style is in-your-face pressure. I always say I'm going to try to take us both out to the middle of the ocean and drown us. So if he gives me that Spartan death I'm looking for, I'm all for it. But, no, he hit me. I probably see right there, but we all good. We made it, baby.
All right, more questions for Dominico here.
So your entries were very persistent. It was always, as soon as you guys broke up, you were right in. You started to get a lot more success in the exchanges once you started using feints and delaying your entry. Was that part of the game plan, or was it you just maturing as the fight grew?
It's a little both. It was my game plan to come out more pressure. I live here in Salt Lake City, Utah, man. We got the mountains. We got that good elevation. I knew he's coming from the East Coast, Virginia, so I know if I put pressure on him, he hit hard, but as he kept hitting me, doing the Homer Simpson, just taking him a little bit, and then he kind of faded, and then I started, feinting, like you say, getting better angles. With the clinch, I've done MMA, previously, so I think my clinch kind of helped with like the single collar tie clinch and just kind of moving. So I think it was a factor of a lot of different things. I'm blessed, man. I'm glad I got to put on a show for everyone here in Salt Lake. Bkfc, you guys rock, and I thank you guys. I'm very grateful and appreciative of all you guys behind the scenes that are working. You guys are all savages.
So one of the things I noticed about you is you like to put on a show. I mean, we saw it when you skipped up here. You're jumping. Look, he's dancing. Where does that come from? Is that just your personality? You've always been that way? Do you love bragging when you do well? Where does it come from?
No, I just love to put on shows for people. I guess I'm a showman. I just want to make sure the people that come and spend hard-earned money to buy a ticket, they're entertained. Whether they buy a ticket from me or they don't, they ride with me or they don't, I want to make sure I put on a show. I want to put my state on because there's a lot of great fighters like Mike Jones, Zach. I mean, there's so many people here, and I just want us all to shine. And like I said, my opponent, shout out to Kaine. He came out here. He put on a great show. He hit me. He wasn't going out like no punk. So thank you, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the support of you guys. And we're gonna put on another show and another one and another one. Let's go, baby.
All right, there he goes. Dominico Salis putting on the shows, waiting to do his next show. Going to bring another fighter up here momentarily. Thank you, Dominico Salis. We're waiting for everybody else to get in here. I'll tell you what we'll do while we're waiting. Jade Masson-Wong, one half of the co-main event, is here. Please step up. Jade Masson-Wong, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for her. Challenge for the world title tonight. Jade's getting settled. Do we have a question for Jade?
So, Jade, it seemed like you were more concerned with pressure than you were volume with your striking. Was that intentional, or was it just kind of a conflict of styles?
I think it was both. Both we were there. I know that maybe it's not the fight that people wanted to see, but I think there was a lot of respect between us, and next time will be better for sure.
Any more for Jade?
So Jade, you obviously heard David Feldman's remarks in regards to the fight. How do you feel about it?
I think how do you want? I feel that's not good, but we don't control everything. It takes two to go in the fight, and I'm not the only one in that. And it's like a job. It's not always a 200%. Sometimes it's less, but it's like that. The life is like that.
What would you do different if you could kind of go back and do the fight again?
Put more pressure and I think like hit more. I know the two first round was good. The last 3 rounds was better. I put more pressure, but like that's it. It's like that.
In the past, like you saw a lot of Christina's opponents, they almost feared her to where you really didn't going into this. Like, what was your mental frame of mind heading into the fight?
My mindset for this fight, me, I don't care really. I'm not scared, and I go there to fight anyone. I'm there. I just see a target, so whoever is in front of me, I don't care.
All right, any more questions for Jade? Jade Masson-Wong, one half of the co-main event. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Sorry, main event. I apologize. It's late. I'm tired. Here's the co-main event because I was walking over to Jeremy Low Stevens. He's going to be up next. How you doing, Jeremy? Go ahead and take the stage up there. Take the podium. Thank you, Jade. What a performance by Jeremy Low Stevens tonight in the co-main event. So much fun to watch. The crowd was coming unglued. Both fighters, great fight. Thank you for fighting for us. It was amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, my
You're
man.
welcome, man. Hey, you're like a human highlight reel. I was talking to Dominico about this, but I'm going to ask you, where's that come from? I mean, you have so much. It's not just fighting with you. Is that like do you decide to do that? Like, okay, I'm going to make an impact, or is that just the moment? Because you really are a showman.
I'm just chosen by God, man. He wanted me to walk this path. You know, growing up, back in the day, it was rough. I seen a lot. I've been through a lot. I used to fight. I mean, I was doing bare knuckle before any of this was even entertainment. I love it. I truly do. You know, I know what I'm born for. I know my purpose, my passion, and I have brutal intentions. I love to put pain on fucking people, let them feel my pain, and this is the only outlet that I really have now that I've really kind of guided and focused where I can truly just let this fucking dog out, right? You know, like I got kids, I got a baby on the way, I got a wife, you know, like I'm a father, like I'm like this nice guy. But behind that is the fucking dark side that protects that loving light that I have, man. And I really love this position that I'm in. And I know what I'm born for, bro. I know what I'm born for.
We saw that tonight. And after your first fight, Bkfc, against Jimmy Rivera, some of the fans, they were talking about, they said, you know, Jimmy's an elite athlete, don't get me wrong, but he hadn't had that much experience in bare knuckle. Bobby Taylor, on the other hand, a whole different animal. Bare knuckle OG. Did you feel the difference, and did you expect what Bobby Taylor brought to you?
Oh, I felt the difference, big dog. Bobby Taylor is a fucking animal, dude. I mean, the guy was flat out, and he woke up like The Undertaker, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be a night. ODB is a tough son of a bitch, dude. He's way tougher than Jimmy Rivera. Jimmy Rivera's fought in the highest levels of the UFC, but he's a little bitch, and he's a little crybaby, fucking whining little bitch. I had a lot of respect for Jimmy Rivera. I had told him, God bless you and your family. You know, I hope you made a lot of money. But then he just started talking like mad shit, you know, and I was just like, dude, fight's over, whatever, you know, move on. I kind of lost respect for him. I have a ton of respect for that fucking man right there. ODB is a serious fucking killer right there, dude. This guy hits hard. He woke up from the fucking dead to continue to fight, bro. And that's what Feldman, that's what these people want. Utah, I mean, goddamn, I hope this guy gets fucking paid really well, goes home to his family healthy. I mean, dude, it was a tremendous fight, tremendous performance. I mean, you need a dance partner, and there he was.
All right, we have another one over here.
So, Jeremy, in that first round, you stayed in the pocket, and I'm not going to say you chased, but you continued to move forward. Was that just downloading information, or were you looking for a specific movement?
I'm a killer, man. I love to get in. You know, that really wasn't the game plan, but, I mean, we're not going to take a step back. I wanted to move a little bit more in the first. And then my coach, if you watch the fight in the second, he was just like, hey, you know, when he's backed up against the rope, he's kind of baiting you. Just let up off him a little bit. Let him come to you. Let him come to you. So I was kind of pressing, and I think that's kind of how I got this is I was like being a little bit too aggressive, caught me with like a jab or a straight shot, and then like once I felt that, I was like, okay, like listen to my coaches, set them up, utilize my head movement, my fakes and feints, and my footwork. I've been watching a lot of Orlando Canizales' highlight tape. He's an old school boxer. Yeah. I try to really implement that tonight, just a lot of good head movement. I train and I spar professional boxers. I don't just beat up MMA guys, this and that. I actually train with pro boxers, and then when I go to the MMA scene, feels like I fuck them up. So I enjoy the process of this bare knuckle boxing. Having fun. It's something new for me. I've been competing in MMA for a long time. I fell in love with this process again. It's been quite exciting for me.
So you started at Toad Holler Fight Club with your grandfather bringing you in there as an underage kid to get in fights. You go to the UFC, PFL, and now you're at Bkfc. How do you feel right now in terms of your career?
I made my delusions a reality. I'm living the dream. I mean, I'm providing for my family with these fists since I've been 16 years old, 18 professionally. The clothes on my back, everything you see, man, is from my fist. I'm a fucking man, dude, and I take the bag with these fucking bare hands, dude. I mean, I feel like there's a new king of this era, and the king of the barbarians is home. Hey, and shout out 515 Toad Holler, baby. I mean, 16 years old, I was fighting grown men like him, and yeah, to be here now, dude. I mean, it's a delusion to reality. That's greatness to me, bro. I'm on the verge of greatness.
Great questions. Thank you. Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens, great fight. Thank you for it. The fans loved it. I mean, you heard him out there. Give it up for Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens.
Thank you, guys.
And
Appreciate
his dance
it.
partner, Bobby ODB Taylor. We're going to bring him up in a minute. Appreciate it. All right, next up to the stage, to the table, I should say, Bobby ODB Taylor, who, sometimes President Founder David Feldman, he likes to just create awards on a whim, and I don't even remember what he said. I don't know if it was Balls of the Night, Balls of Steel. Basically, you got big balls. That's the award he gave you, and I think after tonight, that's well-earned. ODB, Bobby Taylor's here. Didn't work out for you tonight, but a hell of a fight, man. I mean, I hate to ask this question. It's so cliche, but how the heck are you feeling after that?
I feel good. I've got some cuts and some bruises, like I said, but that'll be gone in a couple of days. But man, I feel good. I feel great. I think I had a pretty good performance. Jeremy's a super tough guy. Like I said, I was expecting it. I knew he was going to come forward and bring it, and I knew he was going to put on a hell of a fight, and I think we did.
Yes, I know you did. I concur.
So, Bobby, there were several times in the fight where you just connected. At any point, did you think that Jeremy was going to go down?
No, like I said, I missed the big shots that I wanted to land. Like I said, the ones I landed I knew were solid, but I didn't really feel like I didn't catch him with the punches that I wanted to. Like I said, I knew they were good shots, but the ones that I landed I didn't think was going to take him down. And he covered up well. He was very defensive, when I came in. And, he blocked the big shots, but I didn't catch him with the ones I wanted to.
So in the third round, when he was lead punching and you were counter punching, you had your most success. It seemed like you couldn't get him to lead after that. Did you kind of figure that going into this fight, that counter punching was going to be your best success?
Yeah, actually I did. Like I said, I knew he was going to be aggressive, and like I said, he's kind of like me. He don't like to lay back. He's steadily forward. So my game plan was kind of let him come to me, let him do the closing of the distance and walk into my punches. And like I said, when he quit coming forward, it kind of messy. It wasn't what I was expecting. I expected him to be coming forward the whole time, and I was wanting to let him close the distance and me catch him, when he was coming in. But, he changed that up after I landed a couple of shots, I think, and he started laying back and making me come forward. And, he just had a good game plan and a good fight.
All right. There he is, the man that David Feldman said had balls of steel, the Balls of the Night Award. What a fight in the co-main event. Bobby ODB Taylor, thanks for the fight. Thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate you staying there. They love him here, ODB. They're standing up for ODB. You can't see it off camera. Next up, I want to bring up the retaining world champion, Christine Misfit Ferea, most dominant female fighter in the history of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. She's going to take a little time with us here. We'll open the floor to questions. Do you have any comments before we start? Would you like to say anything?
I'm fucking pissed, dude. I came to fight. I come to put on a show. The girl didn't want to fight. I know the fight, the punch that changed it. It was the very first jab, and scared the shit out of her. And I seen it, And I was like, okay, cool, I got this. I'm gonna start landing my shots, and I knew 2, 3, 4 shots she would have been out, but she kept locking onto me, and I mean, you want to come fight me, you want to come fight. You know, we're putting on for the women, we're putting on for the promotion, and we can't be looking like that. We cannot. If you want to be a fucking champion, go out there and fucking die for it. Period. This is fucking bullshit.
I understand your frustration. I mean, it's hard to find you a fight anyway, and then we find you one, and then you go out there and you have to, you know, as you're saying, deal with that. We do have more questions we'd like to get to. I know you probably have one, right?
So at certain times in the fight where she was cutting her angles and clinching, it seemed like, I'm not going to say your feet were stuck in the mud, but it seemed like you were just having trouble adapting to that. Is it a hard weight cut, or is it other factors, or is it just
I didn't see the fight. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know like what you mean by that. I have to go back and watch the fight. I don't know. I don't. I have to go watch it. I don't know what you mean by that.
How was the weight cut coming into this? Because like you look really muscle heavy. Like
Right.
you look phenomenal.
Yeah, I was getting ready. I put on some weight for Cyborg, you know, and then coming down, that was tough for me. It was a lot to cut. Sucked, but I don't make any excuses. I'm here to, you know, make a name for myself, fight Cyborg. That's crazy. It's insanity to want to fight that beast, and me being as small as I am. But I at least wanted to have enough weight on me to be able to take some damage from her.
Do you think you may have overtrained?
I mean, I got ready for that fight for Heather Hardy, got canceled, and then didn't have a fight, and then jumped right kind of back into camp. Possibly. I know I do want to fight more often. You know, sitting for 9 months is extremely hard. You know, and this is all I do, and I give my life to this, and I really discipline myself, and I don't do a lot of stuff with my family, and I don't see my family. I need to go see my family. I have grandparents that are sick. You know, I have people that I want to spend time with, but I put this first.
That's why you're a champion. We know you do that. And, you know, I know you weren't happy with the fight tonight, but, you know, it's always good to see the Misfit in the squared circle no matter what. Just speak on the frustration. I know you kind of said it, and we'll end on this, but the frustration you had when you're in there with an opponent, and like you said, she's not engaging, and there's nothing you can do to stop that.
Yeah, I thought she was going to be a lot more aggressive, to be honest, and she probably was going to be but that first jab that landed, maybe I shouldn't have landed it like that, dude. But I really thought she was going to come. She has some power, you know. I mean, I didn't feel it, but I know if she can land some stuff, she has something behind her. I just think that first punch, she just took everything out of her, and she didn't want to really engage in. She needs to up her volume. It's just not one, you know. We need to. No, I don't know.
All right, what's next for Christine Misfit Ferea? You're still the world champion. Where are you headed next?
I just want to fight more. You know, I want to stay active, and you know, I don't want to come every 9 months. I know I'm a champion, and I know it's going to be less frequent that I fight, but I want to, you know, I have a couple more years in me, and I want to get as many as I can out, you know, before I'm out.
Well, we're looking forward to see your next fight, and we hope it goes a little different for you because we can tell you're frustrated by what had happened tonight, and it's a big person that you are able to admit what happened and kind of talk about it. We appreciate that. Christine Misfit Ferea, still the world champion. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up. Live from Salt Lake City, Utah, with the press conference. You know, tomorrow we're going to be live. Tomorrow, I am so tired. Next week, tomorrow I'm flying home. Next week, we're going to be live from, or home away from home, Hollywood, Florida. Bkfc 66, going to be a great fight. Make sure you're tuned in for that. We appreciate you. And by the way, we're going to keep you updated on the Bare Knuckle Show. Don't forget, at 12:05 every Tuesday, we'll have all the behind the scenes from this show and the latest news. Little plug for you on the way out. I'm Bryan Socia. Thank you so much for joining us.